What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. We are in the parts room. If you saw the last video, you'll know we're moving, and so it is absolutely crunch time on this Evo restoration. We got to get all this stuff done because right now it can't even sit on the ground. So tons of work to do, not a lot of time. Should be plenty enough time, but not a lot. So let's get to it. Alright, so first the gas tank, because the gas tank came off the car last, it's going back on first. So we got to work on this thing. We're doing a full radium fuel system. All that stuff right there has to go on and get put together and all that stuff. We're going to have to cut this hose here, I think, later, but I've already gone through and done some work on the tank already. We went ahead and sanded these plates down, got those resprayed black, make them look nice and new. This is new here, and this little ring here is new. This is not, but this is. We got all new hardware, all that stuff. But first, I think I want to do the filler neck. We just got it back from powder coat. We did it like a satin black type of thing. Looks super good. But we need to reinstall all the hoses and all that stuff on here. We got those right here. They're all new clamps, all that stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, get that started, and we can move on to this thing. I will say though, that full radium kit is a little bit intimidating, but I like learning new things, so it should be fun. Alright, knocked that out. Pretty simple. Pretty cool looking now. With the black clamps on there and all that stuff. So yeah, that's done for now. Let's set this to the side and we'll move on to the tank and all this radium gear. Alright, so luckily the first page doesn't really apply to us because we're already here and it's not on the car. So we gotta remove the fuel level sender, which is this little guy right here from the OEM stuff. And this tells you how much fuel is in the tank, but got to remove this and put it on here. So let's do that real quick and we'll move on. All we really got to do here is pry these little tabs right here out and at the same time kind of slide it down. So try not to damage anything with the circuit board and all that stuff. Come on, and boom. Easy as that. Now, it says here on step 6 to, for single pump applications, block off the unused port on the underside of the plate, which it looks like it already came blocked off with the little plug right there, because we got one plugged there and then one open on this side. So I'm going to assume that step is already done. And yeah. Alright, so now there's some Walbro specific stuff here I got to look through. So let me read this real quick and then we will I'll jump back and show you what's going on. Alright, so I went ahead and jumped forward a little bit to step 12 here, and I mounted the fuel level sender to the hanger itself. The brown and blue wire goes into these top two ports here on the little sensor, and then you just slide it in place, clicks in just like it did on the stock one. But yeah, clicks in there and looks pretty solid. So let's go ahead and mount the fuel pump now. Alright, so we're mounting these little guys to the fuel pump here itself. This little flat plate here, it goes on like this, and so the flat part is facing up, and then they got these little half moon pieces here. That goes in between the two barbs. You can kind of see it sticking up right there a little bit. This little plate will slide up and this little guy will sandwich all that together. You put the O-ring on top there and then this will smush together and hold it all together. But yeah, like I said, a little hard to get those like little half moons in there while you're doing everything else, but yeah, so far so good. Alright, we got it. Now, like a toddler, don't do like I did and jump ahead because you're gonna have to remove this thing out of here to get the fuel pump on and all that stuff, and this is just kind of in the way if you do that. So just wait. It's like 2 steps. Don't get excited like I did and just pop on stuff. They do have it written down like numbered for a reason, I'm assuming. But yeah, anyway, we got it all on there. Everything's hooked up and good to go, I do believe. We got a brand new gasket on there, and yeah, so now we move on to some other work with the hoses and everything. That one I had to cut, I talked about earlier. We're going to work on that now, I do believe. And yeah, just keep going through the pages here. Okay, so next step, find this little hose right here. We're going to give it a slice right about there. We're going to use this connector with this hose here. Now, I do have the plumbing kit, so I think I looked in the instructions a little bit ahead, and I think later on I'm going to have to like take this off anyway and use something else. But yeah, I'm not going to hop around in the instructions anymore like I did earlier. I'm just going to go down the line, and if I don't need this, I don't need it, but if I do, I'll have it. So, yeah, here we go. Alright, so next, I guess we're going to install the hanger into the tank. We will remove this tape stuff here, get that out of the way, and then we'll pop this guy in, and it should look pretty sick on there. Alright, next let's move on to the plumbing kit. We got the external filter, all that jazz, bracket here. Let's get it all put together, and then we can go put it on the car. Alright, it's all strapped in. Let's take this thing outside and mount it onto the car. Alright, we're at the front of the car now. We gotta take off 2 bolts on the frame rail, one on each side, and then there would be a little bracket right here that held the lines and stuff on, but we have it off obviously, but yeah, it'll mount right there. We got bolts for all of it, so let's go ahead and mount it on there and see what it looks like. Alright, there it is. It looks pretty solid up in there. Mounted up nicely. We did do the little plug flip there. You gotta turn it. There's a little plug right up in there. Not sure if you can see it or not, but you gotta flip that over so it'll fit in there. But yeah, got it all bolted up. Now we can go get some lines, and then we are one step closer to bringing the tank out here and putting the tank back on this car, which just seems just crazy to me. It's been off the car for so long. It's been months. And yeah, just very exciting times. Alright, so we're back in here now. I went ahead and hooked up everything to the fuel pump hanger. We got the new 8N line ran here. This will run to the external filter we just put in. And then we are not running the stock like hard line for the return. We're going to run this whole kit right here we got from STM. We got all the little fittings down there and all that. So we're going to run this 6N hose all the way to the front for the return, and I think that'll look really cool on the car. Those hard lines looked kind of rough, and I wasn't a big fan of putting it back on the car, so this should tie it all together pretty nicely, I think. And now I'm going to go ahead and install the fuel filler neck. One of the cooler things I think I've done on this filler neck and the gas tank thing was we went ahead and Cerakoted the cap that goes under the gas door bronze, and I got a hold of the guys at JDCustoms and asked them about these 2 little bolts right here, and they got me those in titanium. Really cool. I'm excited about this. They liked it so much that they made it a little kit on their website, so you can pick this up now if you want to. If you want to replace those 2 little bolts right there in your gas cap door and all that, you can get that now on their site. I will have that link down below. You guys check it out if you want to. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like their products a lot, and I like that one specifically because I thought of it and it's kind of cool. So if you want to add some extra little flair to your gas door, check it out. Woohoo! That looks so good in there. I'll be the only one probably to ever see that, but yeah, that makes me happy and I like it. Okay, now let's go inside. We'll get the tank. We'll bring it outside in the garage. It's gonna take me a second. It's a little cumbersome. It's a lot of crap in here, but we'll get it out here, and then we can begin doing some of the wiring on the pump hanger and all that, and then we can raise this thing up and bolt it back in, hopefully. Cross your fingers. All right, here it is. That was a lot of work. So now I can begin working on the wiring and stuff on the top of this hanger here to get it for the power. We got the harness and stuff already on the ground over there, so yeah, let's begin cutting off those wires, and then we'll wire it into this little guy. All right, we got everything wired. I think we're good to go to raise this thing up into the car. So let's get it. I got it up on the jack, so let's jack it up. Boom! There it is. We got the tank fully on. This was a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. The hardest part was getting, well, obviously the hardest part was getting it up in there, but there was so many little like tight places and things that we had to look out for and to get everything lined up. and the hoses and stuff from the fuel system, had to make sure those were out of the way from the top, and yeah, just had to have some help. 2 people had to do this because there was just so much going on and all that, but yeah, got it on there. Very excited. Car's looking like a car again. We've got the pathway cleared for the drivetrain to get popped on there, and yeah, we're moving right along. Got to fix all those hoses and whatnot, because that this line here is the return, this is the feed. We got to get that up against the car and all situated and fastened on there, but yeah, everything's looking really, really cool. Really, really happy so far. Now all we got left is the suspension arms, subframe, differential, axles, all that good stuff. So yeah. One of the biggest things was trying to make sure this hose didn't get like smushed and whatnot in there, because it's kind of tight in there, and we had to remove one of these yellow pieces because they stick down kind of far into there, and it was hitting the top of the hose, and so there wasn't really any room to like run it up and around it, because it has to go in front of this one how we're routing it and stuff. So yeah, I just had to make sure that was out of the way. We got it all taken care of, went ahead and pulled it out. It's not going to put a hole in it in the future, nothing like that. Got everything wired up there, all looks pretty good, so I think we're good to go with this thing. But on that note, I'm going to end this one off here. We do still have the fuel rail, all that stuff to install, but I'll make a separate video on that, kind of buttoning everything up, getting the fuel system all good to go and all that. So yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the process, the progress. If you have any comments or questions, drop those down there as well. We're glad to help much as I can, chat, whatever. And while you're down there doing all that stuff, don't forget to do all the other YouTube things. You guys know how it goes here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.